Hello everyone and welcome to another re- explanation of the STITCHWRAITH series from Five Nights at Freddy's. In March the 3rd we got a brand new book of three stories with Fitch, uh, Lonely Freddy and Out of Stock. So I'm just going to break down sort of a rough summary of what happens and any if it relates to the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. So the book Fetch, you see that teaser is from Scott Games, was teasing the games after likely Into the Pit didn't really do that well. So Scott decided going to tease it to get more exposure. So anyway, the story itself, Fetch, it's about this the protagonist of the story, can't remember his name. He finds this robotic dog named Fetch, he and Fetch sort of sends him text messages for some reason. It's sort of explained as some kind of controversial science where you could talk to plants through some kind of magnetic field, and Fetch seems to be doing the same thing, talking to the protagonist through the same field, and it's and of course this is Five Nights at Freddy's, so Fetch starts to turn evil and murder people, and at the end, he kills the protagonist's friend, and at the end, Fetch says, "See you." So we'll likely see Fetch again, and yeah, that's all. There's not really anything lore evident. So next, Lonely Freddy. Now, Lonely Freddy's a bit of an interesting one. So it's about we all when we initially saw the description and the title, we thought that Lonely Freddy was going to be about possibly Golden Freddy being Cassidy, because description was about a brother showing how his golden sister is a spoiled brat. So it turns out that that was not what happened. So there's this don't know, kind of like Freddy looking plush plush toy, the one you see in the teaser, and it's kind of really hard to explain since I haven't really got the book and I'm just going off of summaries. So he basically too long didn't read. The brother tries to frame the sister. The sister is still sort of just really nice to him. And then he gets angry, and he comes across the toy, and the toy basically switches minds with him. So he's trapped in this toy while the toy walks off as a human, which is very similar to Be Beautiful, where Eleanor goes off with Sarah's body, and she's just there as a clump of scrap metal. So anyway, and in the end, he's put in the toy containing the protagonist. He's put into like this trash dumpster, and as he screams for help, he realizes that he's not screaming for help. And then there's all these other toys, and they've all got humans in them, and they are all screaming. So yeah, there isn't really lore in here. However, there is in the book there is a girl named Charlotte, and we know Charlotte is the daughter of Henry, aka the puppet, and she seemed to be away from the children. So to me, I'm thinking it might be hinting that Charlie was not part of the missing children incident. So we know that missing children incident definitely was with the main four of Freddy, likely Gabriel, Bonnie with probably Jeremy, Susie with Chica, and Fritz with Foxy. Now there's another child that was there. Now with Lonely Freddy hinting that Charlie's not part of it, it means that there likely is that the fifth child is Golden Freddy. And again, in the book Into the Pit, it says there's a missing children incident event in 1985. So because of that, it's spawned a debate: is the missing children incident in 1983 or 1985? Because in 1983 in FNaF 4 in the minigames, we see this girl and she says, "Oh, don't you that at night they hide your body and you're never seen again, which it doesn't really sound to me like missing children incident. It could just be trying to scare Beavy because he's the only one that's afraid of them, the crying child. So it could be, it could not be. And then there's Into the Pit, which Scott has come out and said that it's going to be explaining the biggest questions and put it in, and a solid date for the missing children incident is pretty big. Plus, with Charlie saying that she's not Charlie not being part of the MCI, it implies that Beavy isn't Golden Freddy, and it's someone else who is Golden Freddy, which leaves the question: who is Beavy? Which can lead to Mike Victor or any other range of theories, including Funtime Freddy, Shadow Freddy, or becoming no one. And the final story, Out of Stock. So it takes place in modern times, and there's this brand new toy out called the Plush Trap Chaser. Now, the protagonist of the story, he want he wants to he wants this toy, but he can't. But it's all out of stock. But there is one plush trap that he's able to get, and it's got human eyes and just looks more human. And it becomes evil for some reason, and it ends up with getting hit by a train, and yeah, that's the end. And it also has the same mechanics as FNaF 4 plush trap, where if you shine light on it, it stops. So yeah. So at the end there is the spring the STITCHWRAITH teaser. So it starts off with the STITCHWRAITH looking through the dumpster and finding the shattered parts of Plush Trap from out of stock. Now, a lot of people are saying that this could be Springtrap, who is the STITCHWRAITH turning into Scrap Trap after. However, it doesn't really make sense because Plush Trap itself is small, so you can't really put put those pieces together. However, what I think is happening is that Springtrap doesn't become Scrap Trap, but William creates a decoy that looks like him called Scrap Trap, and that's what I think it's gonna be, because Scott said that there is a lore reason behind Scrap Trap, and why would he make? And honestly, a five-story arc over Springtrap just becoming Scrap Trap, it wouldn't really, it's not really that important. You wouldn't put it there unless there was something big and groundbreaking that would be in the last book. Scrap William wasn't in the fire, it was a decoy. That's why he's still alive and Help Wanted. And then there's this young woman that were in the last book. They found a lead. So the the detective is following the lead, and there he comes across this young woman, which I think is Fanny. Now, she says that she was taking care of a sick kid because his father went overseas and served. However, there is a lot of things that the detective notices, like how she pauses and she seems nervous, and he thinks that she's lying, and then he finds some markings of the marker that was used to colour in the face of the Wraith's mask. So it seems that the young woman is involved with the Wraith who is creating a scrap trap. Now, of course, that leads me to think that this is Fanny. This is Fanny in the house, and she is trying to protect William. And he also shows her a photo, and she is scared. She recognizes it immediately. So I think that was a photo of William Afton. So, and yeah, that's all for Fetch. There'll be another one in about a month and a week, which will be 1:35 a.m. So yeah, I'm interested in that. Leave a like if you want to see more, and subscribe. So yeah, bye.